friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 21st of November and we are going to deal with two very important topics which are in news. The first is Russia blocks Sudan ceasefire. Sudan, a country in Africa, is under the siege of civil war since April 2023. The army and the paramilitary of Sudan are contesting for gaining political power over there. UNSC, which happens to be a 15-member body, 5 permanent plus 10 non-permanent, tabled a resolution for implementing ceasefire over there. These kind of resolutions have to be unanimously passed. Even if one country opposes, these resolutions are not adopted. And in this case, it was Russia which vetoed it. Russia gave this argument that we are not taking into account the considerations of the Sudanese, neither we are taking their perspective on this particular ceasefire. So it will be equivalent to interfering in Sudan's internal affairs. However, this veto was condemned by UK and USA. The next is Chennai Vladivostok Maritime Corridor is operational. This is a statement given by the Minister of Ports, Shipping and Industries in India right now, Mr. Sarbanand Sonowal. This Chennai Vladivostok Maritime Corridor reduces the time from India to Russia substantially. It also reduces the time from India to Russia, especially if we have to go to the eastern part of Russia. So this is some good news for us because our trade with Russia is also increasing and we need more trade routes established with it. Then we will be dealing with the MCQs based on these two topics and discussing the answers to the MCQs of yesterday. Now, Russia blocks Sudan ceasefire. In November 2024, there was a major argument at the United Nations over the ongoing civil war in Sudan. The ongoing civil war is ongoing since April 2023 in Sudan. Basically, the army of Sudan and the paramilitary of Sudan, they are fighting with each other for gaining access to political power. And thousands of citizens have died. Many have been displaced. And the situation is worse over there. There needs to be an end to this situation, and for that purpose, a resolution was tabled in the United Nations Security Council. Russia vetoed it. 14 countries were of this viewpoint that there should be a ceasefire among these two, military groups fighting with each other. But Russia said it should be vetoed. This resolution was tabled by Sierra Leone and supported by UK over there. Now the 15 members, the current 15 members, 5 the permanent members, they are there always. China, France, Russia, UK, and the United States. Apart from these 5, there are 10 non-permanent members, and each non-permanent member has a tenure of 2 years. Algeria, Ecuador, Guyana, Japan, Malta, Mozambique, Republic of Korea, Sierra Leone, Slovenia, Switzerland. Why I have encircled Sierra Leone? Because Sierra Leone, along with UK, tabled this particular resolution for imposing a ceasefire in Sudan. Now the Sudan conflict. This start of the war happened in April 2023. We know that it is still ongoing. The fighting is between the Sudanese army and a powerful group called the Rapid Support Forces (RSF), which happens to be a paramilitary force over there. Happened to be a paramilitary force, but now these people are contesting with each other. Death and displacement. The war has caused tens of thousands of deaths, and more than 11 million people have been forced to leave their homes. Many people are also facing hunger-like situations over there. There is a humanitarian crisis. War has created one of the worst humanitarian crises in the world. Aid workers say that many people are at serious risk due to the violence, lack of food, and destroyed homes and hospitals. The UNSC resolution. The proposal is the proposal was that UK, with support from Sierra Leone, proposed a resolution to the UNSC asking both Sudanese army and RSF to stop fighting immediately, start talks to agree on ceasefire, protect civilians, especially in the Darfur region of Sudan, where the RSF has been involved in violent attacks. The veto came from Russia. The resolution was supported by 14 of the 15 members, but such kind of resolutions when tabled, even if one member out of these 15 members say that we want to veto it or we want to hold it, we want to look into the matter, the resolution does not get adopted. As simple as that. So it could not be passed because Russia vetoed it. Why did Russia veto it? What was Russia's justification? It was plain and simple that Russia believed that UK is trying to interfere in the internal matters of Sudan. So, resolution was an attempt by the UK to interfere in Sudan's internal affairs without involving Sudan's government. No one from Sudan was, consulted with before tabling such ceasefire resolution. He argued that the resolution ignored Sudan's right to decide for itself. Russia had previously supported the RSF, the paramilitary over there, but its position seems to have changed now. So it is basically kind of alleged that Russia is involved with RSF also and the Sudan army also. Probably Russia wants to take advantage of the resources over there in Sudan and keep that region in conflict. This is one of the allegations, and this was one of the reactions given by USA. But what was UK's response? First of all, let us look into this. The British Foreign Secretary, Mr. David Lammy, called Russia's veto a disgrace. He said Russia was stopping efforts to end violence and protect the people of Sudan. He angrily asked how many more Sudanese people needed to suffer before Russia took action. USA's response: US Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas Greenfield, also criticized Russia for blocking the resolution. She said Russia was supporting both sides of the conflict, RSF and the Sudan army, to push its own goals, causing more harm to the people of Sudan. So these were the viewpoints. The broader impact of this veto. Africa's role. See, the African diplomats have been working really very hard to pacify this conflict. But as of now, with this veto, it seems that their efforts have gone in vain. Obviously, it will antagonize many countries in Africa because nobody wants, a state of instability in their respective neighborhood or the continent. Then African diplomats have been working together to find a solution, but they could not. So, whatever it is, however it is, the conflict should come to an end. There should be a proper solution to the conflict. Otherwise, the end sufferers will be the people, the common people. And they are already suffering a lot in Sudan. That is what needs to be understood. Next is Chennai Vladivostok Maritime Corridor. So this was a news because the Minister of you know Port, Shipping and Waterways, Mr. Saravanan Sonowal, has declared that this has become operational by end of 2023. So what is Chennai Vladivostok Maritime Corridor? First of all, it was announced by the Indian Prime Minister in 2018. So from Chennai, it is going to Vladivostok, which is on the eastern, far east side of Russia. It is 5647 nautical miles. It passes through the very strategic Strait of Malacca, and it will not only connect Chennai, but it will connect other ports on the eastern coast of India. The existing route is 8675 nautical miles. From Mumbai, we go to this Gulf of Aden, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, then we go to this North Sea, Baltic Sea, and then finally Russia. Another route is via Iran. Like this, we go ISTC, it is called as. So we studied all these routes a few days ago only. Okay. Now, Chennai Vladivostok Maritime Corridor is also referred to as East Maritime Corridor (EMC) because it is going from the eastern side. So the key developments: time and distance reduction. The Chennai Vladivostok Economic Corridor, Chennai Vladivostok Maritime Corridor has reduced shipping time by 16 days from 40 days to 24 days. Travel distance has also been reduced by up to 40%, enhancing efficiency in trade between India and Far East Russia. So remember, it is Far East Russia. A lot of oil and natural gas resources are also found over there, apart from the western part. Best part is that ONGC Videsh Limited has invested in some of the oil fields also over there in Far East Russia. Ports involved: the corridor connects key Indian ports such as Chennai, Paradip, and Vizag, along with important ports in the Bay of Bengal. These ports serve as starting points for goods being shipped to Vladivostok in Russia. The cargo flow: types of cargoes being transported include crude oil, food products, and machinery. This indicates a significant trade between the two regions and is expected to grow in volume. The current trade is somewhere around $65 billion. We did not expect this much trade. And yes, a new trade target has been set between India and Russia, that is $100 billion by 2030. This was done in the very recent bilateral meeting, which was done between the Indian Prime Minister and the Russian President on the sidelines of the BRICS summit in Kazan. After that, the 25th India Russia Intergovernmental Commission meet, where Mr. S. Shankar was meeting his counterpart, and they again materialized this 100 billion target by 2030. So when the trade target is increasing, we need trade routes. We need such trade routes which are resilient. We need, you know, alternate trade routes, shorter trade routes. So Chennai Vladivostok Maritime Corridor is the answer to that. But India's maritime vision. So let us discuss about this aspect, because this is very important. So India aims to become a top maritime nation by 2047. So this maritime vision was envisaged by India in the Amrit Kal, that is after 2022. And 2047, we have kept the target here, excelling in key areas such as port operations, cargo handling, ship ownership, shipbuilding, and maritime technology. Is it important? It is very important because 90 to 95% of the global trade happens through the waters, through the oceans. And we need that infrastructure if we want to become, I would say, a major exporter to the world, just like China is. We are promoting Make in India, and they're also promoting Make in India, Make for the world. So we need that infrastructure from where we could export to the world. Port capacity, India plans to increase its port capacity to handle 10,000 million metric tons of cargo annually by 2047. This will position India as a major player in the global maritime trade. Strategic trade routes, India will utilize key international trade routes, including India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, International North-South Trade Corridor, to strengthen its presence in the global maritime trade. IRSTC is a network of 7,200 kilometers linking India, Iran, Azerbaijan, Russia, and Central Asia to Europe. So this we studied over there a few days ago. Focus on clean shipbuilding. So green shipbuilding includes, sustainable technologies, adoption of sustainable technologies for manufacturing ships, and adoption of cleaner fuels, which these ships will be using, like ammonia, hydrogen, or renewable energy. Apart from it, this vision also entails connectivity to the ports, inland connectivity to the ports. We have the Sagar Mala project, which is there. So this is our maritime vision. Policy and infra reforms which we have undertaken. So we have passed important legislative reforms, like laws and all we have passed, like Major Ports Authorities Act to enhance the port efficiency and all, National Waterways Act. These waterways will be governed by this particular act, and these waterways will go to the ports where transport and all can happen through these waterways. So more than 100 waterways have been envisaged under this act, but around 5 or 6 waterways are currently operational right now, and around I would say 50 to 60 waterways, we are expecting will be operational in the next, I would say, 20 years or so in India. Inland Vessel Act to improve use of inland waterways for transportation. Recycling of Ships Act, how to recycle and all. It provides a legal framework to safely recycle ships and improve environmental standards. Additionally, two more bills are in the pipeline. One is Coastal Shipping Bill and Merchant Shipping Bill. This will strengthen shipbuilding, ship recycling, and maritime safety, apart from boosting coastal shipping by improving the efficiency of domestic markets and all. Then investment in port infrastructure, around rupees 80 lakh crore investment has been committed to modernize India's port infrastructure and expanding its inland waterways. 80 lakh crore is a big amount, and till 2047 it is. And out of this, we have a one major, I would say, port development project that is in the Great Nicobar Island, which is called as the Great Nicobar Mega Development Project. 72,000 crore rupees for that. It is in the Galathea Bay, Nicobar Islands, a strategic port development by Bay of Bengal that will boost connectivity and enhance India's maritime infrastructure. Then we have Vadhavan Mega Port, Maharashtra. This project will significantly increase India's capacity to handle large volumes of cargo. Then Vizhinjam International Seaport, Kerala, the deep water port designed to handle large ships. All these will be there. India's strategic maritime vision. India aims to become one of the top 10 shipbuilding nations by 2030 and reach top 5 by 2047. This ambition supports India's goal of becoming self-reliant in shipbuilding as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. National Maritime Heritage Complex. National Maritime Heritage Complex is being built in Lothal to promote India's rich maritime history and modern shipbuilding skills. This complex will also serve as a center for maritime technology. Focus on sustainability has to be there. Green shipbuilding, where we'll be using fuels like hydrogen, ammonia, and clean electricity. These efforts align with India's climate goals and sustainability targets as well. So obviously, we need to focus on these things as well. And very recently, in the budget of this year, we adopted Blue Economy 2.0. So, Blue Economy is any economic activity related to the waters. But Blue Economy 2.0 simply meant that any economy related to the waters should be sustainable, should be environment friendly. Shipbuilding is part of Blue Economy, so it should be environment friendly. Then improvement in port efficiency. Turnaround time. India has made significant progress in reducing turnaround times at its ports. According to the World Bank's Logistics Performance Index, turnaround time has improved from over 40 hours a decade ago to just 20 hours today, surpassing major maritime nations like Singapore and United States. That is basically an achievement in itself. Reforms to boost growth. Coastal Shipping Bill and Merchant Shipping Bill will further enhance the efficiency of coastal shipping and integrate inland waterways into India's maritime transport system. Revamped Major Port Authority Act aims to improve port governance. So we've undertaken these things for improving the port efficiency, which is very, very important for India. So why it is important? Because India wants to become a major exporter to the world. India wants to export to the world. And can India do that? Yes, India can do that because India has all the resources, specifically human resources. So we should put our human resources to the best possible use we can, and then only we will get those results. Now we will be dealing with the MCQs. Which of these countries do not share a boundary with Sudan, Nigeria, Eritrea, Chad, Libya? This is something which can be considered out of the box, but yes, this is a very important question. These geography-based questions, UPSC is fond of asking. Consider the following statements with respect to the resolution tabled in UNSC and mark the correct one. Resolutions have been passed by consensus. Consensus has to be achieved among the permanent members of UNSC. Only one, only two, both one and two, neither one nor two. Which of these ports are not involved in Chennai Vladivostok Maritime Corridor? Paradip, Chennai, Kochi, Vizag. Which of these are components of India's maritime vision? Increase port capacity, increase port connectivity, reducing carbon footprint. You have to, be very much open to answer this question, I would say. And the last question, the National Maritime Heritage Complex is being constructed in which place? Great Nicobar Island, Kochi, Mumbai, or none of the above. Now, MCQs of 20 November. The answers to this. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. Epilepsy is a brain disorder. Yes, it is a neurological disorder related with the brain. Epilepsy is not curable. It is not curable, but you can treat the symptoms and all. You can prevent the symptoms. You can take preventive measures. So both these statements are correct, and C is going to be the correct answer. Second, which of these are symptoms of epilepsy? Loss of appetite, loss of awareness, uncontrollable movements. Yes, yes. There is no such symptom, loss of appetite, which we discussed. So first is not there, only 2 and 3. So hence B is going to be the correct answer. Third, consider the following statements with respect to G20 summit in Brazil 2024 and mark how many of them are correct. How many is the key word over here. The 2024 summit was the first ever summit in Brazil. Yes, it was. African Union joined as a full-time member for the first time. Yes, it did. Social inclusion and fight against hunger was one of the priority areas. That global hunger, I would say, initiative which was adopted by Brazil was over here. And obviously it was a priority area. That is why, it was there. So C is going to be the correct answer. Which of the following countries is not part of G20? So as I told you that if you want to remember the names of the members of G20, you need to go continent by continent. So in Europe, we have Italy as part of it, we have Spain as part of it, we have France, UK, and EU. So Italy is there. In Africa, only South Africa and African Union is part of it. So it is also there. So these are the wrong things. Indonesia is also part of it in Asia. In Asia, we have Saudi Arabia, Turkey, India, China, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea as part of G20. So Indonesia is part of it. In fact, the G20 summit before India, that is in 2022, was in Indonesia. So this is also not there. The UAE is going to be the correct answer. In West Asia, only Saudi Arabia is part of it. So this is the correct answer, UAE. Fifth, which of the following is the objective of Global Hunger Alliance formed during the Brazil's G20 presidency? Eliminate hunger by 2015? No. Eliminate hunger by 2030? No. It is the ultimate goal of SDG. To reduce hunger for 500 million people by 2030? Yes, this is. Obviously, since this is, so this is not. So, this was it from today's session. I will be meeting you tomorrow now with more such informative news pieces. Till then, you guys very well know what to do. I'm not repeating it today. Namaste. Jai Hind.